We are drafting fantasy teams filled with players from the Kirby Smart era at the University of Georgia, and things are about to get heated on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Locked On Bulldogs. Thanks for making us your first listen. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. Use promo code Locked On for $20 off. More on them in a moment. We got a full house. It is very tight up in here. If you've ever spent time in a Chrysler Pacifica with these gentlemen, and it gets
real tight
real quick.
Are you saying we're fat? The Smith men are pretty large. Listen,
the Smith men come in one size, and it's not. The shirt is medium, but
but the body ain't.
I'm just saying we're drafting O linemen, but I only need 4. I'm reserving one of those spots.
You're going to suit up.
Old Moon Pie Smith, as we know him. If you guys don't know, these are
we're
some
off
of
the
our
rails.
We're off the rails. These are some of our favorite gentlemen on the entire planet. The sometimes interim podcast producer M Dubs, Michael Smith, and the ever illustrious John Tweed Sports, John Smith, as well as Daniel and myself. Thanks for making us your first listen. This is Locked On Bulldogs. Today we're getting fantasy teams of the Kirby Smart era. So we're going to do a little snake draft, and we're going to try to figure out who has the best team from Kirby Smart players. Now, we're going to have, in the middle of this, yelling will take place because we're going to have a lot of disputes on what makes a Kirby Smart player real quick, okay? And that's
There's
fine.
no dispute about what makes a Kirby Smart player. Played for Kirby Smart at Georgia. These are the criteria.
The dispute is going to happen when you pick someone that I wanted, and I tried then to convince you that person should not be part of the Kirby Smart era.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So here is as follows. We're going to snake draft. We're going to go 1 through 4, 4 through 1. We're going to make the offense is today, and you get to make the offense what you will. You're the personnel. You're OC. You're Mike Bobo. And you get to make whatever offense you want in it. So
we're drafting 11 players starting on offense. So no defensive players are allowed to be taken off the board. No. These first few episodes will be offense only. We'll come back. We'll do the defense at another time. And so, excited. Longtime listeners of the show, 4 familiar voices to all the people. Michael, John, welcome back to the show. And I get to start. Am I right? Am I right about that?
You want to
inviting guests and just going first. I mean, this is already.
That's right.
Protesting this already.
Listen, it ain't no secret where we're going here, fellas. So the first overall pick in this draft is the best football player to ever play football for Kirby Smart in the history of Kirby Smart's tenure coaching football at any level. And that is Sir Nicholas Chubb. That's who I'm taking. He's anchoring my offense. He's anchoring the locker room. He is anchoring he's anchoring the character of this team.
Sure.
He is the consummate Georgia Bulldog, my favorite Georgia Bulldog of all time. And so there's no way I was going to let him get off the board in this draft without me getting him. And so I'll take Nick Chubb.
We now go to John Tweed Sport with his first pick.
Listen, shocker that Daniel picked a player that I was going to pick with the first pick. I was going to pick him at some point. I wasn't going to pick him first because I will tell you, I love Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is a fantastic football player. I think the best football player to ever play in the Kirby Smart era is a gentleman named Brock Bowers. And so that's who I am picking with my first pick. You want a guy that you can hand it to. You want a guy that can catch it. You want a guy that can outrun him. You want a guy that can block him. Give me Brock Bowers. That's where we're going.
I don't hate
Heavyweights. Heavyweights coming off the board. We now go to the third overall pick.
There's no good players left, Michael. So where are we going?
Listen.
What are you going to do?
We're stuck. Shoot.
You're stuck.
Well,
Matt Landers is still available.
Matt Landers, perfect. So Matt Landers of Arkansas fame. Is this? Am I remembering this correctly? Yeah.
Well, he played for Kirby Smart, so
he did play for Kirby Smart. I'll save Cade Mays since we're already into gentlemen who had split college careers. No, I got to go with another skill player, and I think one of the most talented pass catchers. Obviously, you're picking in my order. I had Nick Chubb, Brock Bowers. Number 3, just before anybody else can get to him, let me go ahead and lock up Senor Jorge Pickens. Somebody's got to catch that ball.
Hola.
Brock Bowers is already off the board.
Yeah,
Jorge will.
I like it.
This is really, really wild to me because I'm coming down now to, and I get a little snake draft here, and you all said the best. You guys have said best player.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all insane. I'm getting the player in which a statue must be erected now, and I'm getting a guy who has come back and won 2 national championships. Stetson Fleming Bennett. Give me my quarterback. I am so thrilled with this pick. Y'all have no idea right
Great
now.
pick.
Clint goes with the greatest player in that Kirby Smart coach. We are taking the best players.
That's exactly right. And now I need somebody to hand the ball off when Stetson's not doing all his magic, and there's only one, in my opinion. And I want to go. He was drafted pretty high. I'm going to save him off the board because I think this man was able to carry a team, and his 1 foot in the ground and up fits the style that I'm going to play well. DeAndre Swift is my running back. I'm taking D Swift. I'm going to save others for other people. I now have Stetson Bennett and DeAndre Swift with my first 2 picks. It's back to M-Dubs.
I just knew Kenny McIntosh was coming out of this man's mouth.
Yeah.
When he said somebody to hand the ball off to, I thought, well, if there's one guy Clint loves. So I'm going to go since they're in short supply, you may know, and Clint just grabbed up the obvious choice behind the line here. But if Stetson Bennett is not available, I'm going to ride with Carson Beck all day, every day, especially his senior year.
That's a tough scene for me and John over here.
Yeah, you guys.
It's a tough scene.
That is a tough scene. And since it's a tough scene, I wasn't planning to go ahead and pick a quarterback, but good Lord. I'm not getting stuck with Grayson Lambert, I'll tell you that. So I'm gonna go.
Justin Fields is still on the board. Justin Fields is still on the board.
He is a Kirby Smart era player. I'm gonna go with Jake Fromm. I need somebody who can do something. And when I go to that list, Dwan Mathis, is hanging out there. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up Jacob Fromm as my quarterback.
It's a tough scene.
Whoo boy. Whoo boy. Tell us more about that Speakeasy sports show you host, John. Is that something that we can tune into, or we can find that
Absolutely
wherever
you find your podcast? We can talk about that.
That's interesting. You looking for a new co-host to that? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what I hear. What I hear.
All right. I don't have to take a quarterback until my 11th pick, so that actually frees me up to get a little bit more creative. So, listen, I got 2 picks here.
Mm-hmm.
I got Nicholas Chubb, which means I don't need a quarterback.
No,
I'm fine.
True.
I'm in the backfield is already the most competent player on the field. I'm going to take 2 pass catchers. But I'm also going to take an elite run blocker for Nicholas Chubb. And so I'm going to take, with my first selection, I'm going to take Darnell. I'm going to take Big O. Because if you pair Darnell Washington and Nick Chubb together in an offense, it legitimately does not matter if I have Grayson Lambert at quarterback. I'll take Grayson Lambert. You just turn around and hand the ball off 85 times and we'll be fine. And then I'm going to take the guy that I legitimately think is the second best pass catching wide receiver of the Kirby Smart era, and it's Ladd McConkey. I'm going to take Ladd with my next pick. So give me Big O and give me Ladd to kind of solidify the skill positions in my offense.
I love that. I love that. We're gonna get to John. John's gonna pick and continue on down this list, but first we're gonna talk about these. And these are, in fact, Game Time. Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. GameTime.co. Use the promo code LOCKEDON for $20 off. And right now, if you're part of the big game still, Daniel, I don't know if you understand.
There's lots of big games. There's many games. Some of them are big.
What do you need? Because it's here. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Right now, all Game Time users get $100 off a big game ticket with code Vegas100. If you're not going to a big game, that's okay. You still get Locked On, $20 off. And with zone deals, you can pick the section, and Game Time picks the seats for big time savings. Game Time will always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section or row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Terms apply. Just download the Game Time app. Use promo code Vegas100 VEGAS100 for $100 off a big game ticket. Or if you're not going to the game, use promo code Locked On, $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. John, we come back to you.
You guys all right with that Ladd McConkey pick? Is that okay?
That's a great pick.
All right.
You zagged. I thought you were going to zig. Yeah.
No,
it's great.
I think it's a great pick. Listen, I'll keep on the pass catcher theme. There's a number of pass catchers to choose from, but there's one that I do not want to get away because he had 1,255 all-purpose yards. He's a guy who can return it. He's a guy who can catch it. He ran it a little bit. He's a gentleman named Mecole Hardman. That if I believe if Mecole Hardman had fast forwarded into a Todd Monken offense, Mecole Hardman may have been one of the best looked at as one of the best skill players in Georgia history in the right style of offense. But I love Mecole Hardman. I love this team that I'm building right now, and I need me a guy that can turn on the Jets, and I need me a guy that can do a few things on special teams. So I'm going to go ahead and take Mecole Hardman.
What a pickup! Great selection.
Daniel, I said you zagged. Or I thought you were going to zig, and you zagged because you said the second best pass catcher of the Kirby Smart era. And there's a gentleman I don't want to let get away because we let it happen one time already, and that's A.D. Mitchell.
Son of a gun!
Oh, wow!
Sure, where I thought you were
Wow!
You love that.
Pick. That's a great pick.
You love that.
So now I got Carson Beck throwing to A.D. Mitchell and George Pickens.
Man, that's a great pick. It's a great pick.
Well, I'm screwed on the pass catchers because I had all my eggs in the basket of A.D. Mitchell. That's a great pickup.
Jermaine Burton's still available, Clint.
I don't know.
Jermaine Burton's still right there on the board. You just snatch him right up.
I mean, Matt Landers is out there.
Matt Landers,
Demetrius Robertson. We got a lot of guys.
I have a feeling, if I may, I just have a feeling that some of those players might be on there for quite some time, if I'm going to be real.
Fantastic.
Look, I'm going to go ahead and nab up somebody that I think is the best tackle to come through UGA. That's Andrew Thomas. I'm getting Andrew Thomas. I'm putting on the left side. I'm taking a no tackle right now because I got a snake pick. I got Stetson Bennett. I got DeAndre Swift, and now I got a tackle to go with it. And I'm debating whether I just go ahead and go all out with my running game at this point and let Stetson throw to whoever. No one. I have to pick up somebody, and this one is because we're talking about in a short. If I can get him for a whole season and maybe for a whole team, maybe if he's in the program for a while, this is going to seem like it's crazy. But I beg you to remember the catches he had at certain moments. Okay, and I'm going way outside, gentlemen. You guys probably wouldn't pick up this guy till much later. You remember when Cager was out there making catches for days?
That's fine.
Remember when he was doing that? Give me Lawrence Cager, wide receiver.
Great pick.
I don't mind that pick.
Oh, Larry
C.
Great callback. I am gonna let's see. I'm gonna pick up one other versatile weapon who can catch the ball, but he can also just receive the snap. You could also just have the quarterback hand it to him, and that's James Cook. Let the man run.
Great pick.
I like it. I like it. Listen, guys, did Sony Michel not play for Kirby
He
Smart?
did. No, he did. He did.
Okay,
He still
okay,
did. He still
okay.
did. I was about to get him. I was about to put him back together. I was about to put the team back together.
I'm sitting here hearing all these names we're picking, and I'm like, wait a second. The Sony Michel, I don't know if y'all know, but that guy was pretty good. That guy was pretty good. He was pretty good. I'm gonna go with Sony Michel as my first running back in my backfield, and you guys can eat it.
That's a great pick.
Boy, there's a lot of good selections that have been made. I really like my team so far, and I'm gonna tell you who I'm gonna take next right after we talk about this.
And this, as we're zagging all over the place, is FanDuel. FanDuel is where you need to go. FanDuel.com/locked-on. You get any winning bet. You any winning $5 bet, they're going to go ahead and give you $150 in bonus bets right to your account. And that's for first-time users, first-time people with promo code Locked On. Daniel and I, as well as the deranged Smith brothers, we all bet and we all talk about it quite a lot. And some of us make quite a good amount on it because we're quite good at the betting. They're the official sports book of Locked On Bulldogs and Locked On Podcasts everywhere. Right now, any winning $5 bet gets you $150 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com/locked-on.
Yes, Andrew Thomas is good.
Yeah,
he's probably the best tackle to play under Kirby Smart at Georgia.
Thank you.
But I'm going to, in this position of drafting back to back, I'm sitting here. I don't need to worry about a quarterback yet. I'm sitting here on three insanely talented players at all three of the skill positions. It's time to look into the offensive line. And so I'm going to double up. I'm going to go Broderick Jones.
Great.
And Jamari Sawyer. I'm going to take both Broderick Jones and Jamari Sawyer here because I could put Jamari anywhere I want. Now I've got options. I can draft another tackle. I could draft an interior guy. I could put Jamari wherever I want. Broderick Jones playing left tackle for me for years to come. He might be the most talented offensive lineman to ever play for Kirby Smart at Georgia. And so I love these two guys. If I've got those two guys on the ends if that's who ends up being on the ends of that offensive line with Darnell right there, I feel like, Nick Chubb doesn't need any help, but this offense is going to be pretty good.
Feeling great.
I love it. Man, that's a good pick. Listen, I'm just gonna have to pick him, and people are just gonna have to be
backup
okay
quarterback. You only get 11 players, John.
No,
if you get him back.
I'm just gonna have to pick him. People are just gonna have to be okay with it. There's a guy. The NFL was not the place for him, but Isaiah Wilson, was a really, really good tackle in college. Worked his way into a first-round pick. I'm going to go with Isaiah Wilson as my one of my tackles.
When he was at Georgia, that's a fantastic pick.
Yeah. I just let's just keep it there and don't think about things.
Period. There's a punctuation is key.
That's right. At Georgia,
I don't think about AD Mitchell when was at Texas for what it's worth. So I only think about him when he's at Georgia too.
Excellent pick. I'm gonna say Carson Beck is not going to snap the ball to himself. I'm going to need somebody who can snap the ball to him, and preferably somebody who can then also back up and give him a little protection. And so let's go SVP. Dang it,
man.
You're
killing my man Clint over there.
I'm next time you're in a different square. You're not before me. It's like playing poker.
I didn't pick the order. I said a number.
Well, technically you did, didn't you, Mike? I don't know. It was a pretty scientific system that we were going with.
Seemed like it.
I hate you all. Okay, for my roundabout picks, this is getting difficult. I think I got to pick up another pass catcher And I don't believe I'm going to go tight end. This is not going to be a tight end heavy offense that I'm pulling out here. Man, I think I'm going to go Dom Blaylock, wide receiver, to pair with Lawrence Cage. I'm going to go possession. We go Dom Blaylock. If you remember him getting behind on play action, I'm taking, again, if we can do Isaiah only at UGA, maybe I could get a little bit of early Dom Blaylock love, you know?
A healthy Dom Blaylock, a healthy George Pick. Like, we're assuming that these guys are healthy. So I love the pick.
Yeah. I mean, coached by Josh Crawford, who we all know to be an offensive genius. Am I not? Am I right? Like, so
you're doing it right. No, you're
I'm doing it right. That's how we do it. That's how we feel.
That's how we do it. That's exactly right. And for offensive line, I'm going to go a gentleman who kind of Jamari-esque, and one of our favorite dogs in the trenches, Solomon Kinley, is
that's
dang good.
Pick. That's
in the trenches. Now I'm feeling real good about one side of my offensive line. Give me Solomon Kinley.
Great pick.
Yeah. Solly was next on my list. So now thank you for returning the favor. Yeah. Now it's on me. So I'm going to stay with the offensive line, and let me pick up a big old boy. I mean, a big old boy that not only can block a defender, but can also catfish with the best of them. Give me Ben Cleveland. Load him up. I just need mass on the line. You know what I'm saying?
And you have that.
Yeah. You got it.
You have some mass on the line. I like that pick. I like Ben Cleveland. Man, listen, I want to take another offensive lineman here, but my eyes are starting to wander a little bit into some of these skill players again. I feel like I need another back. So I think I'm going to go ahead. And take Kenny McIntosh.
Yeah.
I think I'm
Sony Michel, Kenny Mack,
and Sony Michel, Kenny Mack. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take him. Give me Kenny McIntosh.
I love my team. Right, somehow getting screwed at quarterback has put me in such a position of strength here, because I thought John and I honestly were going to dance around Jake Fromm for like 6 rounds, and we were both going to be like, is he going to take Jake Fromm this time? Is he going to take Jake? He just pulled the Band-Aid off, and it has really freed me up.
Because I went through the list. I was like, Stetson Bennett, Carson Beck, Jake Fromm. Anyway, go for it.
I'm going to go I got 2 anchors on the offensive line. But somebody tell me why I'm not going to take Oscar Delp right now. Somebody please just help me know why Darnell Washington and Oscar Delp side by side doesn't sound to you like a recipe for some other teams just weeping into their cornflakes. And then I'm going to pair him. So if I'm running a 2 tight end look, and I got Big Nick in the backfield, I've already got quite a lot of substance on the team, quite a lot of mass. So if I fill out my skill positions, I already got Ladd McConkey. And what if across from Ladd McConkey, instead of a prototypical big body wide receiver, what if I go with Isaiah McKenzie, who may be more skilled than half these guys that have been taken so far in this draft? I've got 2 wideouts at Georgia that can just flat out go get the football. So I know it's going to be lame ducks coming out of this quarterback's hands, but I got 2 guys that I trust are going to be able to go get it. So give me Oscar Delp and Isaiah McKenzie.
By the way, Daniel is making the all 40-year-old and over team. Like every guy 40 and older right now is pro Daniel's team right now, just so we're fully aware.
Listen, I have a demographic.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I love Daniel's team.
Yeah, it's a good team.
It's a good team. And those are great picks. All right, I do have to start filling out my offensive line. There's a couple of guys that I want to make sure that we don't get away of the ones, So I lost Broderick Jones. I lost Jamari Sawyer. Give me Warren McClendon. Please. Yeah. Because I think I need another guy to book in this offensive line. So we're going to go with Warren McClendon as my next pick.
Great pick.
Excellent pick. So I'm going to keep going. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pick up a second running back because I feel like we're gonna get into some. They're going to start coming off the board pretty fast. What remains? So let me pick up. Man, I waffle back and forth so much, but I'm going to take a healthy Kendall Milton over anybody else on the board right now. I think if you look at the last third of this past season, I want 4 years of that Kendall Milton.
All right.
Not bad.
Gentlemen, we are getting down to some tough choices, and I am not going to lie. I am.
You got one pick. Clint, you got one pick here, and then we push the rest of this offense to the next episode.
Okay, we got one more pick.
Yeah. You give us one. You give us this last pick in this round, and then you'll start us off on the next one.
I got Stetson, which means I don't have to have the most talented wide receivers. I do need sure-handed wide receivers, and I need productive wide receivers. You tell me Kyrus Jackson is not a productive wide receiver.
I love that pick.
All of a sudden I went from I missed out on the top 10, but man, my wide receivers are filling out quite nice. We're going to come back. We're going to do another one of these. We're going to keep on doing this throughout the year because we got plenty to go in the offseason. We're going to do defense as well and maybe do a coaching staff one, which would be just wild. I mean, just wild.
I get the first pick in that one too?
Nope.
I'll take Kirby.
Nope. This has been Locked On Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every single day, and we will see you guys next time.
See ya.